Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to talk super fast because I want to do a really quick video because I got to go to work and make pastries. That's what I do for a living to support my weird and wonderful and wild artistic life and all my endeavors. Okay, I feel a very strong impulse to do the demolition of the East Wing in the White House. I feel like there's a message there that wants to come through. So this is going to be a super short video, but let's get to it. Okay, I'll see you on the page. All right, I'm going to start recording right away. And as you can see, I am going to use the same piece of paper as I did for the necklace that was stolen from the Louvre. I think that it's very interesting that the Louvre heist happened within the same couple of days as the East Wing of the White House being crushed. Don't you think that's quite an interesting coinky-dink? I don't know, to me that just, it really, hold on, I'm just getting my reference photo from my phone as I say this. This is so on the fly. Here we go. Okay, so I've got a picture of the White House that I'm going to reference with the demolition beginning, and I just feel like this really speaks to the time we're in. I've been hearing about this for so long. You know, astrologically, with like, oh, this is the time where everything's changing, and ultimately it can lead us to something even better, more equal for everyone. But in the moment, it kind of feels like hell on wheels. So let's get into this. Okay, it's quick and dirty. This is going to be my water, and I think for today's purpose I'm going to paint it in ink. And you know what, maybe I'll just do, I never use black, but maybe today is a great, maybe we'll use black for today. Okay, let's go. Oh, broken match. Symbols after symbols. Let's open the call with the energy of the East Wing being demolished at the White House. And okay, here we go. All right, so as I was driving, I started sort of getting downloads and information right away. And I saw Kamala, and I saw just sort of images of like, you know, like when people die and the spirit leaves the body. And the message was, when Kamala supposedly lost the election, which I don't believe she lost the election, but she did not get instated as the president. It was to redirect us, like, you know, on a website, like this page cannot be found. It's a redirection page to redirect back to ourselves, the power of the people. And I think that in the culture, celebrities and figures of power have assumed a lot of the responsibility for stewarding the direction of the ship of the country. And actually, we need to individually all carry purpose, and we all need to be the joyful warriors, and we all need to have the constitution and the principles, the good principles of decency and respect. You know, treat others as you want to be treated. It's not just a religious thing. It's not a political thing. It's a way to good living. You know, give and receive. Give what you want to receive, because it comes back to you. So let's talk about this demolition and how the East Wing is actually serving a higher purpose. Now, remember we were talking about the stolen necklace, and actually the emeralds themselves were stolen. And, well, you know, from where they came from. I was getting really strong visions and messages that the emeralds were from Egypt. And then I went back, as I do after my readings, to fact check, and it said that those particular emeralds came from a mine in Colombia. However, and I didn't know this before I looked it up, France was heavily involved in pillaging Egypt, and they were, you know, in the forefront of, they're the ones that mined out all of the jewels in the first place. They had a lot of history taking all the emeralds from Egypt. I didn't even know that emeralds really came from Egypt. I was just getting lots of strong messages. So I might be technically wrong on those emeralds. I don't know. I still question it, because who's to say that those emeralds were not handpicked from one of the previous expeditions? I don't know. But anyway, learning a lot as we go. Those emeralds might have been from Colombia, but they do represent a lot of the history and culture and colonialization and, you know, dominance over Egypt. So whatever. As a symbol, I'll go with that. I'm not trying to backpedal or anything like that. But, you know, sometimes the messages are early and then we understand more fully later. I would like to talk about this picture right here, the demolition of the East Wing, which represents the First Lady. So right there, we're seeing his antagonism towards feminism. Right here, of course, he's not destroying a different part like the janitor's quarters. He's destroying where the First Lady is. So I mean, the metaphors are all over the place. But what I wanted to say was the message that I'm getting here is actually from the building itself. The building itself has its own holy land, its own footprint, its own vibrational footprint. And it's just like when somebody departs their body, and take a murder, for instance, when someone else's will is imposed on the other life, and the spirit is safe. The spirit exits the body, the vessel, and the spirit continues, and the spirit is vibrant and lives on. But yes, it does change the memory. This is a blemish on our history now. It doesn't feel good. He didn't ask for permission. He flat out lied. He said that he wasn't going to touch the White House, but he actually tore right into it, and he didn't seek approval or do any of that. So it's very important that in every manner he's demonstrating, talking about the Orange Menace, that he's a con artist, that he lies. And for anyone left wondering, he's giving all the examples to show it until people finally believe his actions. He is who he is, what he does, not what he says. Okay, so that's an important message. And the messages will get louder and louder and louder. Just like if something is wrong in your life and you ignore it, the messages will get louder and louder until you have a car crash. Something like that. Have you ever noticed? I think it was Oprah that sort of introduced that concept to my brain 15 years ago. She was talking about listen to the whispers, because the whispers of the universe get louder and louder and louder. Okay, so there's that part, that he is a liar and he's showing us all as if we didn't know. The other part is, because I don't usually focus on him or this, right? Because it feels very negative. But what I want to talk about is the soul of the building and the ground that it's on. The ground is holy. The ground belonged to American Indians, and that ground was repossessed without consent. And so now this building is being destroyed without consent. Do you see that rhyme? It's similar to the necklace. Next up, we have the people that built the White House, slaves. This is a holy building that was built on the hard work of repressed people. Okay? Now, for this to be torn down, I think that, as blasphemous as it is, I think that it is serving a higher good. It is bringing light and calling to mind the history of this building. Yes, it's the history, it's the building of the people. So it's a direct attack on the people. And now I'm thinking of 9/11. We have a terrorist. This sounds like kind of an unhinged rampage, doesn't it? But I'm just getting lots of messages in very quick succession. This is looking like a haunted house, isn't it? How appropriate for Halloween. Okay, so we have the owners of the land. Well, they weren't owners. The American Indians felt that they belonged to the land, because the land is the, like Mother Nature. It's the mother, and we are the children. Then we had the slaves that built it. Then we had the women who ruled over this part of the building. So also an oppressed sector of our people, right, is the women, the matriarchs. Then we have the will of the people. I'm going to say the election. The vote did not go to the people that voted for it. There, I said it. What else? I feel that, oh my gosh, it was so strong before. What is it? The main message of the building. Well, sort of like 411, the house is on fire. Literally, figuratively, it's being torn down. And for something very gaudy that we don't need, which is the ballroom. But this is a very important part in our history. And with hope, we can build back better, as Biden used to say. We can rebuild our future. And it's important that the spirit of the people is not in, here we go, the landmark of the house. We are the people, and the spirit of we the people lives in us. So it is a redirection of the sentiment of we the people, and it's putting it back, putting the importance back into all of us, so that in all of us is a piece of the American dream. In all of us in the world, we're all technically part of the stars. We all contain carbon, the same materials as the stars. It's not just about America. What's happening to America, always ricochets. It's like what has happened around the world then comes to America. What comes to America then finds its way to Australia. We're all connected. So we can't be siloed and pretend that we don't affect each other. We absolutely do. And I think this is one of those harsh redirections to turn the focus. Like when your loved one passes away, they live on, but now they live in your heart and in your mind, and they still communicate with you, and they're still living, but they don't have the apparatus. Okay, I finally got there. That's the message. The spirit of the White House is stronger than ever, but it's now moving into all of us, and it's going to take stronger hold. And yes, we will probably build more buildings, and as history has changed once again in the future, we'll probably build more monuments to acknowledge this moment in time, but they're all signposts. They're all pointing to something, and that something is within us and our lives. And one day we're all going to die. We're all going to die alone, and what we take with us are our memories, and we get to feel all the love that we gave and received. And so let's send this White House this, I'm thinking of flowers. Let's offer forgiveness to this very harsh, crushing visual moment. This is like when a flower is crushed and it offers up that incredible heavenly fragrance just after it's been crushed. This White House might be being destroyed on the exterior in the cosmetics, but the spirit of it is currently being galvanized, and the real ballroom is in the community. So take heart. This is just a moment in time where we're reminded that the superficial does not have power. The superficial things in our lives are just signposts of the real beauty and the real life and the real strength and importance and adventure of our lives. And I feel very strongly the guardians that pass through here. I feel Jackie Kennedy. I feel hearing Ladybird. I heard the word Rosenthal. I don't think that's the right word. I'm seeing all the first ladies lined up and observing this like a bonfire, and they're bearing witness to it. But they're holding hands, and it's making me quite emotional. I can feel all the first ladies holding hands around this, what feels like a bonfire or cremation or a burial site. And I see them planting new rose bushes right here. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and it's very rare that I ever paint with black, so that was kind of fun, but appropriate sometimes, right? All right, let's end that call. Cheers to all the new trees and new life coming up in the world, and structures may fall from time to time, but that is the reminder of our fragile, precious lives. All right, have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye.